Hey guys, CK here from CK Education, and today I want to share a story with you about one of my students. Now, in my last video, I shared a story with you of a student named Janet who was very realistic about college and career success. This time, I want to share a story of a student. His name is James, and he had sort of these unrealistic expectations, I call fantasies, about college and career success and so forth. Now, income doesn't always have to do with this, but Janet came from very, she lived with a single mom, she didn't have a lot of money. James here, in this example, he had very wealthy parents and had a lot of money. Just as a matter of fact, a lot of things were just given to him, and he was, and so I think he felt a little bit more entitled than someone like Janet did. Now, I'm not saying that if you have a lot of money and your parents are rich, that you're necessarily a spoiled, entitled kid. I am not saying that. I'm just saying this about this kid that I know. And I'm not even criticizing it. I'm just saying that's the way it was, okay? That was his situation. He's not a bad kid for it or anything like that, but I'm just saying it was a different environment he grew up in. But when he came to me, yeah, he's a good kid. I was a good student. But he had these unrealistic expectations. What I mean is he thought that going to a high-ranked college would result in much greater career success, better advancement opportunities, higher pay, and things like this. He thought that you get a completely different kind of education if you go to a, ranked 15 school as opposed to a ranked 100 school or something like that. Okay, like I've had some students who actually thought that if you go to Harvard, you get a different, and you take calculus at Harvard, that's a different kind of calculus than if you take it at, University of Michigan or something. But I'm just here to tell you, calculus is calculus, okay? It doesn't matter where you take it. Calculus is calculus. There's no Harvard calculus and Michigan calculus. There's calculus. And so, there's no such thing. The ranking of your school, the school name, what school you go to really has no bearing at all on your career success. As I said in my last video, your career success will have everything to do with how good you are at what you do and how much you develop yourself, how much you improve yourself, how much you work on improving your skills every day to become the best at what you're doing. And if you're not doing that, it doesn't matter what school you went to. I've seen plenty of examples of people who went to higher ranked schools who are working for people who went to lower ranked schools, or people who didn't graduate from college at all. And so again, career success has absolutely nothing to do with what college you went to, your school name, and things like that. Okay, I am not saying it's bad to go to an Ivy League or top school. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying understand what you're getting yourself into. If you're paying $50,000 a year to go to a school like that, whereas you could go and pay $10,000 a year to go to a local public school and graduate debt free, I would much rather take the latter route where you're debt free. Because if you're $200,000 in debt and you've graduated from one of these schools and you're getting the same pay as the guy or the girl who has no student loans, I think you're way behind financially when you're 22 years old. So I just don't think that's a good idea. Or 24 years old when you 22, whatever. I'm trying to calculate in my head. I think you're 18, about 22 when you graduate college, right? But the point is that, yeah, there's no bearing on this. But he was very unrealistic about this. And I try to explain to him that it's not the college, it's the person. There's no good college, bad college necessarily. There's good students, bad students, or, good business people, bad business. When I say bad, I don't mean evil, but I just mean, you're not as successful. You don't do as well. So forget about college name for a second. Think about rather, if you do well in high school, you get to college, consider going to a college that you can go for, that you can go to, that has the major that you're interested in, and that you can do well in, and then you can graduate without any debt or very minimal student loans. I've seen student loans just kill the financial situation of people, and they're 60 years old trying to pay off their student loans. this is horrible. So yeah, don't. It's overrated. Okay, college name rankings are overrated. There has nothing to do with your career success. So please be mindful of that. And I hope James understood that. I'm not sure if he did, but I tried my best to explain this to him. But let me go over some of his scores. He did well. When he started out in math, it was a 600. And then reading and writing was 550 for total starting score of 1150. And after 48 classes, that's 72 hours. In math, he got a 740. Reading and writing was 680 for a total score of 1420. So he went from 1150 to 1420, which was a 270 point increase, which is a significant increase. So he did well. I don't think well enough to go to the schools that he was aiming for, some of the schools that he was aiming for. But again, from the start, I think he was aiming for schools that were nearly impossible to get in, especially for what he was trying to do, and and the major that he was interested in studying, which was biology. So I think you have to be very realistic about it. I'm not saying people should lower their expectations. I'm saying just be realistic about it. Understand the reality of things, rather than basing your decisions on some fantasy that you heard from somebody or some neighbor or some friend, and so and so said and so and so said. Well, we want to understand and make decisions based on facts. So just wanted to share that example with you, and I hope that was helpful. But as always, if you're interested in wanting to become one of my students, please go to my website, ckeducation.org. Fill out the SAT Prep application form there. And in the comment section of the form, please write why you think you would be a great fit to be one of my students. And I promise you, I will get back to you personally. And I read all of the applications. I read all the comments. I can't take every student, but I will do absolutely everything I can to accommodate you if I think that you'd be a great fit. So anyway, thanks again for watching, and stay well, and we'll see you later.